Hello dear students, welcome back all of you to the physics online class. I hope you understood the point what I said in the last video. In the previous video, we discussed the point of the microscope. There we discussed the microscope in a two manner. One is a simple microscope, another one is the compound microscope. First need to be understand is why we use the microscope. You all know that microscope means it is an optical instrument that is used to get the magnified and the detailed information of the small objects which are invisible to our eye. So if we are unable to see the small things, what we are going to do now? To get the detailed information of that type of the objects, we see them under the microscope. That microscope magnifies its image. That means the large enlarged image can be obtained. By that we can study about the each part of that organism or that object, right? And there simple microscope is there, compound microscope is there. In the simple microscope only a single convex lens was used. Therefore that acts like a magnifying lens, and there we discussed the magnifying power of this simple microscope as m is equal to 1 plus d by f. There d is what? The near point or the least distance of the distinct vision. And the second one, f means what? That is the focal length of the lens used in the simple microscope, right? And it is taken when the image is formed at the near point, that we call as the normal adjustment of the microscope. Then next we studied about simple microscope means it also gives, but still we need the quality of the image. That is why to increase that quality of the image we are using the compound microscope. There the compound microscope consisting mainly the two lenses. One is a convex lens of this small focal length and small aperture. We call it as the objective lens. And the another one we call as the eyepiece, which is a, eyepiece is having a large focal length and a large aperture. Eyepiece is near to the eye where we are doing the observation. Objective lens is near to the object where that object is to be observed, right? So like that we discussed, and there also the magnifying power we discussed. There also the magnifying power is nothing but it is the ratio of the angle subtended at the eye by the image to the angle subtended by object at the eye, so at the normal adjustment. That is taken as a m. And with the help of the m I can write the formula for that is m is equal to L upon Fo into 1 plus d upon Fe. Isn't it? So where Fo means what? Focal length of the objective lens, and Fe means what? Focal length of the eyepiece. So like this we discussed, and nowadays what happening means actually to get the quality of the images in the microscope, various type of the lenses will be used. They are arranged systematically and still their aberrations can be minimized. That means the defect which is present in the lens can be minimized, and the many number of the lenses can be used to get the clear quality of the images. That is going to happen now. Yes, and today let us discuss the last bit of the topic as well as the last optical instrument that we have to discuss under this chapter is telescope. See dear student, usually in the childhood or in your lower classes you might have studied telescope means you will use that to see the celestial bodies. Isn't it? So then of course, telescope means what? It is also an optical instrument. Why we use that? It is used to get the cleared information and the magnified image of the celestial bodies. What are the celestial bodies? Stars, planets and the comets, or the moon, the sun, whatever which is present in the sky, that if you want to see usually what happens, microscope means microorganism, we can see them which are invisible to our eye. But some of the objects which are present in the nature, we can see them but they are far from us. Then in order to understand their detailed study, we need one support. We need the help of an instrument. That instrument only we call as the telescope. Right? Telescope means what? An optical instrument used to get the detailed information and the magnified image of the far off objects or distant object. They are also called as the distant objects. Remember the distant objects. Okay, then basically this telescope is of two types, mainly based on the phenomena of the light which is taking place inside the telescope. We classify that into the two types. The first one is called the refracting telescope, or it is also called terrestrial telescope. What it is called? Refracting telescope. Terrestrial means what? The telescope which is used to see the far off object on the terrestrial. That means on the earth surface also. Sometime might be you observed in the case of the soldier camps, they will be seeing with the help of binoculars or with the help of the telescope, they see where is the camp of the enemies, isn't it? So their group in which direction they are attacking to them. In that sense, to understand, they are using the terrestrial telescope, right? Then the terrestrial telescope is of which type? Refracting telescope. So only here I have given the diagram of the refracting type of the telescope. Actually in this telescope what happens? The light undergoes refraction. If the light needed to undergo refraction, there what we are using? We are using the optical medium as a lens only used. Right? Or sometime prisms also can be used. They are different. So such as many, as I told in the earlier also, different types of the optical instruments are there. Periscope, kaleidoscope, binocular, like that many types are there. But for our study, so in this chapter we need to study only on the telescope and the microscope, right? So then hope you are understanding my point, right? Dear student, first we should know what the refracting telescope consists and how it works, right? Then the refracting telescope consists two lenses here. What lenses they are? They are the convex lenses. One convex lens which is of a large focal length and the large aperture. Now it is called as the objective. Remember dear student, it is just reverse in the case of compound microscope. In the compound microscope, objective was smaller, eyepiece was large. But in the case of the telescope, that too refracting telescope, here the convex lens which is used as an objective has large focal length and the large aperture. So its a focal length, let us call it is a FO. Then here with the convex lens, that is another convex lens which is of a small focal length and a small aperture, we call it as the eyepiece. Am I clear? And its focal length can be taken as the FE. I hope you are understanding, dear students. right? Then let us talk how the image will be formed, how the telescope is working here. Yes, just now I told this is used to get the clear image of the distant object. Then it is quite clear that the light also should enter from the distant object here, right? So then when a parallel beam of the light will enter from the distant object, right? So that parallel beam will pass first through the objective lens. And as you know, the objective lens is a convex. So what the convex works here? It converges the refracted rays at a point. The converged ray will meet at a point, there the real and inverted image A dash B dash will be formed. This is inside the length of the tube of the telescope. Are you understanding? Yes. So what happened? When a parallel beam, that means a light ray, you can say, rays from the distant object incident on the objective, they are refracted. The refracted rays meet at a point, so near the focal length of the eyepiece, where the real and the inverted image A dash B dash is formed. Yes, and this image act like a virtual object. This image act like a virtual object for the eyepiece. Then the rays which are coming from this will incident on the eyepiece. Then that rays only undergo refraction. Then that appears to be forming the final image at the infinity here. Yes, so this is the how the working of the refracting telescope is taking. And here you can see there is angle beta is formed by the image and angle alpha is formed by the objective. So the magnifying power m of the telescope can be taken as beta upon alpha. That beta upon alpha is approximated to height upon, that is h upon fe, then fo upon h. Then these two h will get cancelled, means you get there that is equal to fo upon fe. The magnifying power can be given. And remember, in the telescope or in the compound microscope, the length of the tube L, that can be given as the, so it is the focal length of the objective lens plus focal length of the eyepiece. If you take the sum of these two, that gives the length of the tube, which comprises the convex lenses, both in a compound microscope as well in a refracting telescope. Yes, and that m can be given as the fo upon fe. Then this is indicating that the magnifying power of the telescope. How do you increase the magnifying power of the telescope? It can be increased by using the objective of a large focal length. One word. So this question also coming sometime. Okay, so the same question, sometime magnifying power they may ask, sometime resolving power they may ask. So there also same thing will come. The magnifying power means you have to highlight the focal length. Magnifying power of the telescope, that is a refracting telescope, can be increased by using the focal length, the objective of the large focal length. Yes, FO should be increased here, then FE should be decreased, then you can get the more magnifying power. So if you want to define what is the magnifying power, how do you define that? Here only we have the formula. Magnifying power of the refracting telescope is equal to, it is the ratio of the angle subtended at eye by the image to the angle subtended at I by the object at infinity. At infinity. Yes, so this is the how the working of the refracting telescope is taking place. I hope you understood, dear student. Maximum here 1 mark question means related to the magnifying power may asked, or the 2 mark means the diagram, the ray diagram to represent the image formation by the refracting telescope might be asked. Okay, so practice them. Maximum what I told, so in these last 2 videos means you have to practice the ray diagram of the compound microscope and this refracting telescope. So here only you have the chance, right? Then the final bit of the topic, that is the second type of the telescope, is the refracting telescope, and this is also called Cassegrain telescope. What is the name? Why that name came? It is the name of the scientist who given the clear idea about even the telescope can be reflected if we use some other optical media, such as mirrors can be used here. Yes, why we are focusing here reflecting? Last one, what I explained was that is a refracting. That means where the light ray that change its direction, refraction is taking place. But now I am talking that it is a reflecting telescope. Reflecting. What is the meaning of the reflecting? When the ray will reflect? You know that when a ray of light or a bundle of rays fall on a polished surface that act like a mirror, the part of the light rebounds to the same medium. Isn't it? The part of the light come back to the same medium. Then that only we call it as the reflection phenomena. Hence, so here we are taking very clear point that, so reflection means what we need there? Mirrors are required there. Refraction means you may take there the lens or the prisms or the spherical surfaces also. Isn't it? So reflection means we need the mirror. Then it is clear it is a reflecting because the mirrors are used in this telescope. So it is a reflecting telescope. Yes, then let us see how the construction of the reflecting telescope is taken here. How it is constructed. See here. In this actually we have taken a concave mirror. Concave mirror, you can see the concave mirror means already you know that. So its reflecting face is inward, or its reflecting face is toward the center of the curvature, right? Then this is the concave mirror we used in the reflecting telescope or Cassegrain telescope. This acts like an objective mirror. What it acts? Objective mirror. And after this, again here we used one convex mirror. What mirror we used here? Convex. Can you see what is the function or the work of the convex mirror here? Remember, dear students, convex mirror diverges the light. Hence, we are using here the convex mirror to diverge the incident, the rays which are coming from the concave mirror will incident here, that are diverged by the convex, that we call as the secondary mirror. If you take this is the primary mirror, then this will be the secondary mirror, and that mirror diverges the rays which will be again converged by the eyepiece which has the convex lens. Already you know convex lens also converges the rays. Therefore, here one point should be clear. Convex mirror and concave lens both will diverge the ray of the light falling on them. convex. Mirror, mirror means convex, lens means concave. Both are opposite. Both are showing the divergence of the light. Then concave mirror, convex lens. If mirror is the concave and the lens is the convex, then remember that converges the rays of the light falling on it, right? So I hope you understood. Then here you can see finally the rays from the distant object fall on the concave mirror, which first converges the rays on the convex, that is secondary mirror, and this secondary mirror is a convex mirror, so it diverges the rays, and that the diverged rays are again converged by the eyepiece, which act or which consists the convex lens, right. So this is how taking place in the case of the working of the telescope, that is reflecting or Cassegrain telescope. Then here, so one point you should mention or you should keep in your mind is, in the world there is a largest telescope. So where it is, what is the name of that means? Keck telescope is the largest telescope in the world, which is situated in a country called USA, and which is having a reflector of the diameter. What is the diameter of that reflector means? See, if I consider this is the objective mirror only now acting as a reflector here. That reflector for the largest having 10 meter diameter. See how much large it is. It is having 10 meter diameter, that is the largest. So the Keck telescope is the largest telescope in the world. I hope, dear student, so this completes the the discussion of the reflecting telescope. And if you apply the same magnifying power here, that is F is equal to, you can take F naught upon Fe, you can take here like this. And one more formula, dear student, FO means here what it is? Focal length of the objective. And the focal length of objective means, objective is a mirror here. The focal length of the objective in the case of mirror, that can be again given as the R by 2. R means what? Radius of curvature. Here R is called radius of curvature. And this formula says that the focal length of the mirror is half of the radius of curvature, or you can modify this as R is equal to 2F. That means the radius of the curvature of the mirror, that is spherical mirror, is twice of its focal length. So there is this relation is there actually, but you have not studied the mirror. In your previous you might have studied. For this you don't have this points, but you should know the formula. That means at present the mirror concept is skipped from your syllabus. Therefore you have not studied this, but you should know the formula. The radius of curvature in a spherical mirror equal to twice of its focal length. Then if I use this formula in this expression, then still I can simplify this formula as M is equal to FO means I substitute there R by 2, then it comes. So M is equal to the magnifying power of the reflecting telescope can be taken as R upon 2 Fe, where E is the the focal length of the eyepiece. Here it is the focal length of the eyepiece, and R is the radius of curvature of the objective mirror. Yes. So I hope, dear student, you understood the ray optics and the optical instruments clearly. Yes. Let us glance the points which covered under this chapter. So in the beginning we started with the concept of the light and the optics, how the two branches are divided, what they are dealing, and in that specifically we started what is the refraction, refractive index, its laws. Then we started what are the consequences and how the lateral shift, normal shift, twinkling of the star, atmospheric refraction is taking place. Then what is the total internal reflection, its conditions, its applications, right, how they are used in optical fibers and what are the uses of optical fibers. Then we move to the refraction through the single spherical surface, the important derivation for the 5 marks. Then lenses, the types of the lenses, there also refraction through the single lens, then the combination of lenses, and then the refraction through the prism, how the dispersion of the light is taking through that, and rainbow formation. Then next is about the optical instruments, and in that the human eye, its structure and the defects. Then about the simple microscope, compound microscope, refracting telescope and a reflecting telescope. Yes, so these are the points covered under this chapter. So study well. So look at the videos whichever we have sent. If any doubts you can ask me, dear students. Do good. Thank you for watching the video.